Hello there and welcome back to the show, and today I'm going to be talking about AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling's most recent pay-per-view, Forbidden Door. This was the third annual Forbidden Door, and I'm gonna be honest, this was definitely the weakest of the Forbidden Door shows that we've gotten, and also I am kind of over this concept because, Forbidden Door implies crossover across multiple promotions, but a lot of New Japan's top stars have signed with AEW in the last 2 years. So if we are getting a Forbidden Door next year, then I really hope that there are more wrestling promotions involved, because the build and the hype to this show compared to last year and the year before was extremely down. Was still a good show overall though. Just going to briefly go over Zero Hour because, and I think I've mentioned this before, if it's not important enough to be on the main show, then it's not important enough to go into depth over. So just quickly going over the 0 Hour results. Kyle Fletcher beat Serpentico. Malachi Black and Brody King won an 8-man, 4-team tag team match. Willow Nightingale and Tam Nakano beat Chris Statlander and Momo Watanabe. Mariah May defeated Saraya in an Owen Hart tournament match. And the Lucha Brothers and Mystico defeat Los Ingobernables de Japón in a 6-man tag team match. And that was 0 Hour. Alright, so the main show kicked off with MJF versus Hechicero for the second year in a row. MJF opens up Forbidden Door. He did so last year against Hiroshi Tanahashi, and this year against Hechicero of CMLL. And this was a pretty decent opening match. Nothing great, but was a pretty fine, passable opening match. MJF got a huge pop. They were in Long Island, MJF's hometown. Immediately he went for the cheap pop of the handshake and a thumb to the eye. That got a laugh out of me. That was great. Hechicero hit a really good running knee against the turnbuckle and then flipped off the crowd, which again got a laugh out of me. That was great. MJF hit a pile driver. Hechicero countered with an armbar later in the match. This was a pretty decent back and forth. MJF wins this match as he should. MJF is not losing to Hechicero in Long Island. He won with a Long Island Sunrise, a take on the Panama Sunrise by Adam Cole, and then a brainbuster for the win. This was a pretty decent opening match, and I enjoyed it for what it was. MJF would of course go on to turn heel the following Wednesday on Dynamite, and I do believe that we are getting MJF versus Will Ospreay one-on-one at All In August. Up next we had a trios match. The Acclaimed and Hiroshi Tanahashi versus the Elite, represented by the Young Bucks and Kazuchika Okada. This was fine, nothing overly special, a decent match to occupy some time. The best parts of this match were Kazuchika Okada and his interactions with Hiroshi Tanahashi. Okada's comedic timing is unbelievable. He is great. His interactions with Tanahashi, playing up their history, that was really good. This match was decent. The Elite win as they should. They shouldn't be losing any matches anytime soon, and this was fine for what it was. Up next, match in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, the Battle of Dragons, Bryan Danielson versus Shingo Takagi. This was excellent. This was very good. This was a very good match. Bryan Danielson came out with the tape. This was excellent. A couple of really impressive spots during this match. Bryan Danielson hit a dropkick to Shingo out of the ring, then went for a suicide dive. Shingo caught him and turned it into a neck breaker. That was a very impressive spot, and Bryan Danielson's selling of it was very good. Bryan then hit a German suplex on Shingo, running dropkick. That was very good. Shingo lifted Bryan up for a power slam, a very impressive spot, as this was one of the best matches of the night. Nigel McGuinness on commentary during this match as well was very good. Bryan Danielson won this match. He advanced and he did make it all the way to the finals of the tournament. He won by submission. He will be facing Hangman Adam Page in the finals, who it turned out was the wild card in the tournament, which realistically he was only one of two people it could have been. The only other option would have been Adam Cole, and we are getting Bryan Danielson versus Hangman Adam Page. And to be perfectly honest, I see Hangman winning that match. I see him beating Bryan, and Hangman versus Swerve being the main event of All In at Wembley Stadium this year. But this was a very good match and a great effort by both men. This was excellent. Up next, a match for the AEW Women's World Championship, Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa. Mina did an impressive figure four on the ring post that looked very brutal, to be perfectly honest. Mina then hit a flying crossbody onto Toni Storm and Luther. That looked very impressive. So the closing sequence of this match saw Mina hit a glamour driver for a 2 count and Toni hit Storm Zero for the pinfall victory. 1, 2, 3. Toni Storm retains. I see Toni Storm versus Mariah May for the AEW Women's World Championship taking place at All In at Wembley Stadium. Up next, Orange Cassidy versus Zack Sabre Jr. This match start was a little slow. They did a couple of impressive comedy spots, but I'd say the first third of this match was pretty dull, minus the comedy spots. To me, the turning point of this match was when Zack did a twist on Orange's neck, and after that, the match immediately picked up. Sabre mocked Orange Cassidy's comedy kicks. I thought that was pretty hilarious. Orange hit a suicide dive on Sabre. A lot of impressive technical spots in this match. Like I said, the pace really picked up and the style in a fast-paced environment worked pretty well. So, the closing sequence of this match saw Orange Cassidy tap out to Zack Sabre. Not really sure where they take Orange from here. I hope to see Zack Sabre Jr. Back, because I do think we need a third match against Bryan Danielson. And, well, we'll see where both men go from here. 6-man tag team match, Chris Jericho, Jeff Cobb, and Big Bill with Brian Keith versus Samoa Joe, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata. Starting off, the crowd was chanting, "Please retire." Jericho went on the mic and he said that he's a hometown boy as he was born in New York, and Taz's commentary explaining that was pretty hilarious. Taz is great. This match was fine, serviceable 6-man tag team match. Hook pins Chris Jericho, and I guess this feud is continuing, and I was honestly hoping that we would move on from this. Ladder match for the vacant TNT Championship. Mark Briscoe, Dante Martin, El Phantasmo, Leo Rush, Jack Perry, and Konosuke Takeshita. Adam Copeland had to vacate the TNT Championship as a result of injury. This ladder match was announced. All 6 of these guys qualified for this match. This was excellent. This was a phenomenal ladder match with a ton of impressive spots. First of all, the way the match started, everyone was eyeing Jack Perry, and Konosuke Takeshita gave him the forearm of all forearms. That looked sick. It was a very, very awesome spot. The MVPs of this match to me, no question, Mark Briscoe and Konosuke Takeshita. The work that these two men did in this match was unbelievable. Konosuke Takeshita, there was a spot where he hit a blue thunder bomb to ELP off the apron through 2 ladders. That was the spot of this match. And Mark Briscoe, he hit a dive off a ladder set up on the apron to a table on the outside. That was very impressive. Mark Briscoe and Konosuke Takeshita, no doubt the MVPs of this match. Everyone else in this match had some impressive spots. Dante Martin, storyline with him selling the leg that he broke in the tag team ladder match at Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor last year. ELP had some very impressive spots. He is a very good wrestler. Closing sequence of the match saw Konosuke Takeshita climbing up to retrieve the title, and the crowd, despite him being a member of Don Callis' Don Callis family, he was climbing up and the crowd was cheering for him. And it is high time they put a championship on Takeshita. He has definitely earned it. But then Mark Briscoe pushed him off the ladder, and it looked like he was about to win the TNT Championship. But then Jack Perry came from behind, attacked Mark Briscoe with a steel chair, threw him out of the ring, climbed the ladder, and he brought down the TNT title. Jack Perry is the new TNT champion. In storyline, yes, this was predictable. However, I get where they're going. Now all members of the Elite are champions, but I 100% would have put the championship on Konosuke Takeshita. I think he's definitely earned it. I get why they went this route, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. But that being said, this was an excellent match. Unification match for the TBS Championship and the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Championship. Mercedes Moné versus Stephanie Vaquer. This is my first time seeing Stephanie Vaquer wrestle. She was very impressive in this match. This was pretty good. I know how good Mercedes Moné is. I loved her work as Sasha Banks. I like the way this match started. Vaquer immediately hit a headbutt on Mercedes. They exchanged pin attempts, and we were off to the races from there. This was a very good match. This was, in my opinion, better than Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa, and this was very good. At the end of the day here, Mercedes Moné did win, and she is now a double champion, which was the right call. She shouldn't be losing matches anytime soon. And the real story, after Mercedes won, raising both championships, Britt Baker returns to TV, stares down Mercedes, and right then and there, that is our match for All In. Mercedes Moné versus Britt Baker for both championships. That's where I see this going, and I am very much looking forward to that. We move on to what I felt was the worst match of the night somehow. Jon Moxley versus Tetsuya Naito. I have no idea what happened with this. Jon Moxley is great and has produced amazing matches. Tetsuya Naito is great and has produced some amazing matches. I don't know what happened here, but this was by far and away the weakest match of the night. The biggest thing that I can relay from this match is that Jon Moxley's New Japan theme is infinitely better than Wild Thing. Now, Wild Thing is great, but his New Japan theme, in my opinion, it just fits him so much better. Also, Red Shoes Uno. The reaction that this man got was incredible. Red Shoes got the biggest pop of this match. This match to me was very predictable. I knew that Moxley was gonna drop the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship back to Naito, and that's exactly what happened here. Naito won. He beat Moxley. He is the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. But this match, in my opinion, was very dull, and by far and away the worst match of the night. And finally, the most anticipated match of the night and the best match of the night. Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. This was excellent. Will Ospreay coming into this match, the AEW International Champion, Swerve Strickland, the AEW World Champion. Now, I do know that a lot of people, when Will Ospreay won that match and became the #1 contender for the world title, a lot of people thought, oh, they're gonna put the belt on Ospreay this soon, or he's gonna have a rematch at Wembley if he loses. None of those things are happening. They announced that the winner of the Owen Hart Cup would challenge for the world title at All In, and Ospreay was not in that tournament. So he was in no way going to be involved at Wembley if he was to lose this match. The build to this match I really enjoyed. Both Swerve and Ospreay cut some really impressive promos against each other. This match was excellent. To me, this is one of the best matches AEW has produced all year. This was very good. Will Ospreay, this was, again, Will Ospreay has had so many match of the year candidates that it feels just like a played out phrase just saying Will Ospreay had a great match. To me, Will Ospreay is incapable of producing bad matches. The work that this man does in the ring is unbelievable, and this match, once again, another classic. This was great. Swerve Strickland looked very impressive in this match. This was, in my opinion, the best match he's had since the Texas Death Match against Hangman Adam Page at Full Gear last year, and that was a great match. Both men worked very well together. There were a couple of impressive spots in this match. Everything about this was really good. I cannot do this match justice. This was by far and away the best match of the night. Go out of your way to watch this match. It is definitely worth your time. I'm just gonna flash forward to the end. Don Callis came out and he handed Will Ospreay the screwdriver and he threatened Nana with it. He let Nana go, he threw down the screwdriver, and he looked at Don Callis and he said that he doesn't want to do it that way. Swerve Strickland capitalized and he was able to pick up the victory. Swerve celebrates and then Forbidden Door goes off the air. Swerve Strickland winning this match was 100% the right call. It is way too soon to put the world title on Ospreay. And let's look at the storyline implications moving forward. On Dynamite, Ospreay wrestled Daniel Garcia for the International Championship with MJF in Garcia's corner. MJF turned heel by turning on Garcia. We are getting MJF versus Will Ospreay at All In at Wembley Stadium. On that same Dynamite, Will Ospreay left the Don Callis family, and Don Callis is not gonna let that go. I believe that at Blood and Guts, we are getting Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita for the AEW International Championship. And I think MJF will help Don Callis out by making sure that Konosuke Takeshita wins the AEW International Championship. We are getting MJF versus Will Ospreay at Wembley. I cannot see it being for the International Championship. As far as Swerve Strickland is concerned, he is going to be facing either Bryan Danielson or Hangman Adam Page. And like I mentioned earlier, I see Hangman Adam Page beating Bryan Danielson and winning the Owen Hart tournament, and Hangman versus Swerve at Wembley. And I genuinely couldn't tell you who would win that match. You could really go either way with that. A heel Hangman as the world champion, or Swerve continuing his run, both sound like great options. And as an overall, this was the weakest Forbidden Door event, but as an overall wrestling show, pretty solid. This was still a really good pro wrestling show at the end of the day. That is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. You can follow me on Instagram at Saeed_2000, and I'll catch you on the next one. Till then, take care.